time out of your busy schedules to be with us today for this live webcast from the Hill of Hope. Some people call it the Hill of Faith. Frankly, I like to refer to it as the Hill of Hope. I want to share a few things with you that have been happening during our transition period. The first year of my presidency really was a transition as we moved from what I would consider a glorious presidency of Father Nicholas Triandafilo of 15 years into a new year, a new transition time to grow our school and to build upon literally the shoulders of giants. There are many, many things that were accomplished, but there's much, much more that we can all do together. I want to share just some of the things that we have been doing and then offer you the opportunity to ask any questions you have. You know that you can send those in. You'll actually send them into my office, and then we have the staff here. They'll print them, bring them to me, and I'll do my best to answer as many of them as I can. The first thing I want to talk about is spiritual formation and our counseling office. For me, this is one of the most important parts of the Hill of Hope, the only college, school of theology, and seminary that the Greek Orthodox Church has in the Western Hemisphere. This part of the growth of the students is important. We have added 2 new, so that brings it now to 3 academic counselors as well as spiritual counselors and emotional counselors for our students, so that as they transition from high school into college or they transition into graduate school, and some of them come, as you know, even with their families, they have the support they need. Last year we had 1 person doing all of those things, and clearly that wasn't enough. We all realized it. We have added now a total of 24 spiritual fathers. We require that all students, especially the seminarians, select a spiritual father, and we limit the amount of students each spiritual father can have to 10. So once you hit 10, you can't take any more. As the president of the school, I made a conscious decision not to be one of the spiritual fathers because I felt it would keep me neutral and be able to be a spiritual father to the entire campus, to the administration, the faculty, the staff, and the students. And I believe that was the right decision at the right time. There is now full participation of all the ordained clergy on campus. That was not happening before, where all the ordained clergy are part of the chapel services. They are taking an active role. That's important. Why? Well, it's important because they're priests, but it's also important that our students see their professors in the role that they were ordained for. More priests and deacons allows for technically more services. Orthros and Vespers or Paraklesis is served daily. Orthros, and rather the Divine Liturgy, is served at least once a week, sometimes twice a week, in addition to Sundays. A new service book is being printed for every student, which means every student will have their own copy of the chapel Orthros and Vespers, and then small Paraklesis and great Paraklesis. And finally, I would say in this section that the Holy Cross Chapel, for me, is really the heart, mind, and soul of the campus. I'm personally committed to improving and expanding this experience and attend services as often as I can. Just yesterday, we had a community liturgy for the feast of St. Luke, the evangelist and apostle, where the entire community came together in midterm. You have, of course, September 14th, where we're all together and we're worshiping, but this was a great opportunity for all of us to come together, to pause, and to actually pray as one body. And it was a beautiful experience yesterday, and I hope that it will be continued as we go forward. Let me go to another area, and that would be the fall open house that we just had. We had approximately 50 people come to the open house. That included some parents, both college and school of theology, undergraduate and graduate students. It was a great experience, and they got to walk around campus and meet everyone. But the beauty is this: they came because you, the alumni, sent them to us. You are the ones that have to help us grow the school. The school is your school. It's our faith, it's our school, it's our tomorrow. Without the school and without you, literally there's no tomorrow. So I want to say kudos to those of you who sent us students, and every semester we have an open house, so I hope you'll watch for that. Our goal is to have every parish send us at least two students, one for the college, one for the School of Theology. and we are here to help you with information, all right? The next issue would be the Holy Cross Bookstore. Those of you that had come to the Clergy Lady Congress this summer, you saw a very different bookstore from what we had before. It's truly growing. We're importing icons and books and all kinds of things, liturgical items from Greece. These products are the highest quality, and they're high quality items for the faithful. That's the important thing. In addition to those, you also saw that we're starting to sell clerical shirts, vestments, candles. What we want is that the Holy Cross Bookstore becomes your store. Even though you've graduated from the school, this is the place that the alumni can come to in order to fulfill many of the things that they need. You can go online or you can visit us, some really magnificent things. Holy Cross Orthodox Press, another great thing that we've had in our church literally since the foundation of the school in 1937. This entity now is under the capable direction of Father Michael Monos. And I hope you know that he's alumnus of the school. He was appointed to take the press back to its potential global prominence. And as alumni and friends of the school, I invite you to submit your manuscripts. Let us know what you've written so that your school can be the one to print these things. Let me go to the new student center and the strategic plan. Our plan is to grow the school, and we're doing that for the good of the church and for no other reason. One of the greatest things we have coming up is our new student center. A gentleman, Mr. George Costas out of Houston, donated the largest single gift ever received to the school. And we were just thrown aback by that. And we said, what do we do with this large gift when we have other things too that we could be doing? And we said, you know what, if someone's going to come up with that kind of a seven-figure gift, it's time that we act upon it. And you should know that the current student center is in the basement of Polymanakos Hall, which is our dormitory. It was the student center when I was a student here 40 years ago, and many of you as well. So it's time for us to get out of the basement. And this is an awfully good opportunity for us to do it. We're looking at how we can do it fiscally responsible so that when we build for the needs of the school and something that we can afford. And we'll be updating you in the near future about how that's going. But I think you can expect to hear some good news very, very soon about the center. That's that. The other is the website. Well, you came to the website in order to come to this live broadcast. And I think you can see from that that it's time for a facelift. And we're going to be changing the website. We'll be updating the website as we continue to grow the school. It's very important that we engage not only students, but also the parents in multimedia, social media, all of the things that are happening today. What used to cost billions of dollars, well, let me just put it to you this way. If years ago you had to be a king, a prince, a queen, somebody who had huge amounts of money given to them in order to make a change for the better in the world. Today, with a small amount of investment, we can change the world for the better. That's what we want to do here. We want to be smart. We want to use our resources in a good way so that we can do something positive for the church. The strategic plan, the new website, all of these things allow us to do that. Last year, you remember I told you about 3 summits: enrollment, institutional advancement, and academic affairs. We successfully completed those and made changes to the infrastructure of the school so that these 3 areas will flourish. The one issue that we did not tackle last year that we're tackling this year is the academic affairs. We're involving our trustees, but mostly involving our faculty, to look at what is it that we offer and what could we do better. Why are students attending certain institutions, and what are they studying? What is the job market for those students? Those are very, very important things. So I'm very happy to tell you that we will be moving forward with the academic summit the entire year. And some of you may actually be called upon to be in focus groups around the nation. And I just hope that you'll do that, both lay people as well as our clergy. A new website also, I should mention to you, is going to provide the framework for online learning and continuing education. As I travel this beautiful archdiocese of ours, and the other archdioceses as well, people are constantly asking me, I can't come to the school, Father. Could you offer something? And I said, of course we can offer. In today's world, advanced technology, there's no reason we can't offer online education for both the clergy and the laity. Now, as a clergyman, I know how important it is to have continuing education. All other professions, and you could say, wait a minute, Father, the priesthood is not a profession. Okay, a vocation. Call it the highest calling in the world, which is what it is. Should we not be educating our clergy constantly so that we can face the issues? As the world changes, we cannot stay the same. We don't have to change our theology, but we certainly have to change our methodology. So I'm happy to tell you that probably in the spring, you'll be hearing some good news about that. Summer programs. Let me just bring you up to date a little bit. We had this past summer, most people think that the school shuts down in the summer, and frankly, it doesn't shut down in any way, shape, or form. We had multiple institutes, the Pappas Institute, the Kalinikion Institute, our summer programs, the diaconate program, that's the permanent diaconate program. All these things were going at the same time. So in addition to the 180 plus students we had during the year, we had 150 students here in the summer on and off studying. And I hope that you'll watch your mail, watch your email, because very soon you'll see more information about this summer's offerings, which should be robust. If you have any questions, I would ask you that you send them to me. I'll try to answer any questions that have come in, and if I can't answer them, clearly I'll tell you I can't answer them. I believe in transparency. I believe in honesty, as I know you all do. And I believe in a valiant effort for Christ here on the Hill of Hope. So we'll take any questions that you have. Are there any questions that you have thus far? No? Okay, that's good. If you have questions, you can send them to alumni.questions@hchc.edu. You have any questions there, Kevin? No? Okay. I'll give you a question that I've heard. How many students do you currently have on campus? The answer to that is 187. 100 of those connected to the college, 87 to the School of Theology. The other question I've heard is, Father, would you visit us? Could you have teams of people come out to visit us? Certainly can. I travel around the country constantly, speaking about the school with Kostas Alexis. He's the Vice President of Institutional Advancement. We also have students, both graduate and undergraduate, that travel with us, and they give their personal testimonies. And usually what we'll do is come into the city, and the night before liturgy on Sunday that we'll celebrate, we'll have a gathering of people within the parish that want to know more about the school and help the school grow. So if you're interested in something like that, please let us know. But one of the greatest ways that you as alums can help us is to recruit students, is to help us bring young people to the school. That's the best way. We need a strong army to grow the school. Let's see, some questions have come in. Are church services increasing or decreasing in the Holy Cross Chapel? Oh, well, let me sort of touch on that issue. You know, social media is great today, and I believe very much in it, but we have to realize that anyone can post anything they want on social media. I believe that if people have a question, that you should pick up the phone. There's no better way to deal with questions than talk to people. To sort of work out frustrations or concerns in social media, for me, I think is a mistake. There was something out there about church services being cut. They're not being cut. If anything, they've been added. There were 2 occasions this semester when priests were unable to show up at the time that they were supposed to be here, and those became reader services, twice. And also the fact that when we have liturgy in the morning, there are times when the schedule here on campus is so strong that we allow them to take that evening as an off evening. I don't think that's unreasonable. We do offer services every single day of the year, and at times we do give people a break from that. Okay? Other question? What is the ideal student for Hellenic College? That's a very good question. You know that we have 6 undergraduate majors. I liken it to this. If you've ever attended, or your children, grandchildren, nieces, or nephews have ever attended a summer camp, whether it's St. Stephen's or St. Nicholas or Fanari camp, any camp in the nation, when those young people go to the camp, somehow, some way, Ionian Village, their lives are changed. There is a spark for Christ that is lit there. Then what happens to that? They come back to their parish, come back to their home, then the engagement of faith and the Holy Spirit is not as strong as it was there in the camp. And what happens, unfortunately, is many times they wane away from the church. Some stay in, but some go back. I believe that Hellenic College is a perfect opportunity and option for every single young person, especially those who have gone to the summer camp programs, so that that spark can be lit into a torch which can become a flame for their faith, their Orthodox Christian faith. And let's face it, 6 in 10 of the young people that go to other colleges never come back to the church. Look at that. That's not my statistic. 6 in 10, 60% of the students. Why would we take such a gamble, if you will? Now, you could say, well, Father, the school doesn't offer the major that I want. I hear you. And we're attempting now, as I said to you before, to look at that in the academic summit, to see what else we could offer within the understanding of who we are as an Orthodox Christian college, school of theology, and seminary. So I hope I answered that question. A question this is from Father Paul Pappas. I believe he's in St. Barbara's in Toms River, New Jersey. He said, are there any organized altar boy seminars on campus? Great, great question, Father. And we are working now with the admissions office and our ambassadors to come up with such a program. I remember those programs were in existence many years ago, and I know from myself, 36 years ago when I became a priest, the reason I became a priest was because of the influence of my parish priest, who was Father Constantine Theodore. He was in the first graduating class. For me, he was the epitome of Christ on earth. He was an amazing man. And it was his dedication to Christ that gave me the impetus, the inspiration to come to see, could I do what he does? So I would say to you that I agree with you, and we're going to try to institute as soon as we possible these things. But in the meantime, please encourage your altar boys. Make a trip. There were a couple parishes this year. They got their altar boys together and they came, and we put something together for them. So we are working on it, and I love the idea. And all of us who are clergymen around the country, some 600 of us, we can influence these young people to come to the school. Another question. Can you discuss the seminarian and college student experience on and off campus and student life? Well, it's quite a challenge, because we are asking young seminarians and young collegians to come to this hill to lead a life of an Orthodox Christian. And the world is pushing in another way. There's a tsunami of doubt, as I've said before, which pushes people away from the church and tells them, well, God is relevant only when I want him to be relevant. So for us, we are unabashedly Orthodox Christian. We do not hide from making our cross. We do not hide from saying that we believe in the triune God. And for us, that's a wonderful thing. And we ask our students to live up to that. And we know it's not easy. We want every student to have a spiritual father, both the collegians and the seminarians. We have an intramural program, which is very active. This flag football program, the basketball program, leagues that we have here. We have trips to downtown Boston and to other universities and colleges. going to basketball games, baseball games, all kinds of things like that. So students need to do more than eat, sleep, and pray. Those are all three important. We need them to study, because we believe students receive the grade that they deserve, if that makes sense. And also, though, we want to challenge them to learn how to lead an Orthodox Christian life when they leave the campus, because that's really when the challenge is going to come. So it's an active student life. It's growing. We've added personnel into the Student Affairs Office as well, so that it can be a well-rounded approach to the student life. Another question? Oh boy, look at these questions coming in. What is being done to develop and hire faculty for a strong future? Very good question. The faculty are an integral part of what we do here. And we encourage our faculty to go to conferences, to write books. It's about three things when you're a faculty member. It's about teaching, it's about scholarship, and it's about service. Those are three parts of their contract. So they have to teach to the best of their ability, and if they're having problems, we help them. We go, we visit their classrooms, we're trying to help them. Two is scholarship. They have to produce. They have to produce books, papers, speak at conferences all over the world. And three, we expect service from them, that they're actively involved in the campus and the life of the school and of the students. Now, when we bring new professors or when we hire people, for example, we just hired a new director of our human development program. There were 3 candidates. They had to come to the campus. They had to go through active interviews. They had to go down and teach a class with our students. They had to be observed in that process. So we are trying to do that. Right now, we're working with all members of the faculty, as I said to you, with our Academic Affairs Summit. That's hugely important for the future of the school. Take another one. Can you update us on the chaplaincy position? Well, surely we can. When we had the privilege to come here and take the helm of this precious school, there were many, many financial challenges. I won't go into them in this broadcast. But the first thing was to stabilize the institution. In order to do that, whenever you stabilize anything, you have to look at who's around you and how can you use those talents to the best of the ability for the good of Christ and the school. There were resignations. There were people who it was time for them to move on. That was done with all dignity and properness. And then there was the issue of the chapel. And the chapel, as I said, for me is number one. Father Chemberis, after many, many years of great service to the school, said that he was ready to retire. We accepted his retirement. And instead of hiring a chaplain immediately, which I believe is something we need to take time for, we all stepped in. I asked the faculty of the college and the School of Theology to step up and fill in, become members of the, which some of them were, members of the Spiritual Father Committee, as well as working in the chapel. We're in the process now of trying to find a chaplain. We're not ready to hire that person yet. I don't want to rush on that position because that person, for me, is extremely important. Someone who knows our faith, who models the priesthood, who knows how to do services, and who will be a good spiritual father to the student. But mind you, it's not about one person. I've said this before. The school, I liken it, maybe it's too simplistic, but I kind of like it because sometimes I'm simple. I hope you are too in some things. It's a boat. It's a giant boat. And we're all rowing. And I've asked everybody to get in the boat, grab an oar, and row forward with me. We can't have people in the back of the boat drilling holes. We have to go forward. We don't have a chance. We don't have time to fool around when we have people leaving the church. Look at the numbers. I won't go over them, but look at the numbers. And you tell me if we don't need a strong army going forward. So back to your question about chaplaincy, it has to be the right person at the right time. At this point, we're having as many clergy as possible filling in, and I want to thank the brother clergy, both on campus and off campus, because there are clergymen who live in the Boston vicinity, Brookline vicinity, who have full parish assignments, and they come here on a voluntary basis and offer their time as spiritual fathers. So I want you to rest assured that we are working diligently on that specific aspect. The spiritual growth of our students, for me, is extremely, extremely important. Another question? This is a good one. How's the food these days? When I was there, it wasn't that great. Well, I'll agree with you. It was really bad when I was here, too. I remember Kirileni, Kiricosta, God rest their souls. We have, I don't know how to explain it to you. It's an incredible cafeteria. And even on the fast days, there are fasting options that are wonderful. I haven't heard many complaints. There are sometimes people will complain about the food, but there's a full salad bar, hot meals, cold meals, sandwiches, pizza, all kinds of soft drink and coffee that are offered. So I don't think anybody, well, I guess I could probably tell you that some people probably need to do a little less buffet because some of the plates are really full when they go through. So that's an indication that I think people are eating pretty well. So it's a good question, but it is improving. There are many women that attend the school. And I have to tell you that, I'm sorry?
Read the question.
Yeah, the question is how many women attend the college? What is their experience like? I can tell you, I can't give you the exact number of women attending the school. I want to say it's between 40, approximately 40, 45, I think. That's about it. These are tremendous young ladies. And they are so in tune with the faith. They come to learn. They're inspired. They're excited to be here for Christ. And once you come, I invite all of you to come. If you haven't come back to the campus in a while, now's the time. Make that visit back here. Bring your families back. Bring your parishioners. Bring your friends back to be here with us and to see. The ladies are just great. They're in the chapel. They participate in the chant groups as well. They assist the seminarians in the chanting. And you'd be very impressed with them. You'll see some of them. Some of them travel with a team, both male and female, that go with me around the country, sometimes with admissions, and they'll speak. Another question. Geez, a lot of questions today. What does it mean to be a priest in the 21st century, and how are you preparing these young men? That's the million-dollar question. I can only tell you that when I graduated back in 1980 from the School of Theology, 77 from Hellenic College, at that point, I feel I was ready to go into the parish work. But I can tell you there were many things I should have done better then. And it wasn't because the school didn't do its job, it's because I was too lazy to do what I needed to do. But I graduated then with all the tools. I'm concerned about what we're doing now and how we're preparing the young men because the plates are shifting in our society so rapidly. Everything that we held sacred growing up in a Judeo-Christian civilization or country is under attack. So I would say to you that we need to do a better job in preparing our young Orthodox Christian leaders of the future to make the case for Orthodox Christianity in America. We have to teach them how to unpack Orthodox Christianity for this generation, not only now, because these young men are going to come out and these young ladies are going to come out and be leaders in parishes, parish priests, parish council members, volunteers. How are they going to lead in a world that doesn't want God? And if they're in schools where God isn't spoken of or God is frowned upon, how will they deal with that? That's going to be our challenge. That's why the academic summit this year is so important. What we're going to create, or attempting to create here, is a set of core values that we want every graduate to come out of the school with. If they have that core of what it means to be an Orthodox Christian, our hope is that as they go through the good things in life and they go through the bad, they're able to enjoy the good and persevere through the bad. But it's the core, that's the essence for us, that's so important. One more, I think we'll do one more question. Do we have another one after that? One more, so we'll do two more. Are you the only school for Greek Orthodox? Are you only a school for Greek Orthodox? I am of another Orthodox jurisdiction interested in offering my children an Orthodox Christian higher ed Thanks for your question. I mean, let me put it to you very, I guess, bluntly. That's the only way I can say it. There are 197 Roman Catholic schools, colleges, and universities. 40 Protestant, 39 Baptist, 10 Episcopal, 9 Hebrew, 4 Islamic and growing, by the way, and 1 Orthodox Christian college, school of theology, and seminary of its kind in the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese. This school is open to all Orthodox Christians and non-Orthodox Christians. We have Roman Catholics and Protestants who attend our school. We're part of the Boston Theological Institute, which is a consortium of of Christian schools throughout New England, and their students come here as well. So this is the place, the college, where Orthodox Christians can come for their higher education. There's no doubt about that. And our services are done in Greek and in English and many times in Slavonic and in Arabic too, because we have people from all jurisdictions. So yes, it's open to everybody. And again, it's the only school of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. What are your non-seminarian graduates doing with their education, both in the church and outside? What type of jobs and courses do they go, careers do they go on to? Wow, that's a great question. The non-seminarians, for me, are extremely important. I guess I'll let you in on a little priestly secret. And sorry, brothers who are on the call, if I let this out. But for many of us, the Andidron line is where we find our volunteers. And you say, the Andidron line? You mean when you give out the bread at the end of the service? Yes. People will come forward and they'll say to me, hi, Father, nice liturgy, good sermon, bad sermon, whatever they want to say usually. And I ask them, what are you doing with your spare time? So what do you mean? I said, you be a great Sunday school teacher. How do you know that, Father? I don't know that, but you seem like a nice person. Most people, God bless all the Sunday school teachers, all the parish council members, all the ladies in Philopticos. But how many of them have we as a church really trained in Christian leadership? What would it be like if we had generation upon generation of not only clergy, but also lay leaders who actually knew the faith so they could teach the faith? That's what we do here at the school. So our graduates are going to leave. One we hired this year to work in the admissions office, a fine young man who had graduated in a business program. Another young lady came out. She hopefully will be on our board of trustees very soon. She graduated from Atlantic College. She became a lawyer. There are a multitude of things. And we are now working also on our career services office. We want to develop that in a much more robust way. Further information I can give you, and I invite you to visit our website, hchc.edu, and also get our presidential newsletter that comes out every month. There we feature some of these young people, both the collegians and the seminarians, and we literally tell their story. Let's see. One more question. I'm interested in someday studying for a master's degree. Is Hellenic College fully accredited? Now, that's a great question. NEASC, the New England Association of Colleges and Secondary Schools, is something that is a body that officially accredits our school, ATS, American Theological Schools. They are the ones who accredit our School of Theology. So what you have are two accrediting bodies, and they're great because they hold us accountable. They make us reach new heights, make us renew what we do so we can offer the best possible. So any student that studies here, either in the undergraduate school or the graduate school, takes these credits with them wherever they go. That's very important in today's world. And we're very pleased to have received our accreditation, and we continue to receive it time and time again. I think I can take, you have one more question? This is the last question. Okay, last question. We've been on for a while, haven't we? I want to thank our people here in the office that are helping us too. As you are offering this live stream, what are the plans to offer the chapel services in the same format? Did you guys write these questions? I can't believe these are coming. These are great questions, because these are all things that we've been thinking about. Yesterday was, I said it to you, a perfect example. We had our community liturgy. If I could have shared that with you, you would have seen how special a place this really is. Administration, faculty, staff, students, Orthodox, non-Orthodox, all together worshiping God. It was an experience like, I've been a priest 36 years. I have never had experiences like this. And I hope someday that we'll be able to share that with you through television cameras in the chapel. We want to begin to broadcast the services. We need to do some things in the chapel. We need to paint it. We need to put forward a new audio system to get the cameras to be donated. There are many things we have to do, but we'll do that. And we will share it with you. I promise you at some point we'll do that. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, especially the alums that are on the line right now watching us. Thank you for your Christian witness in the world. It is very, very important. I liken you, although it's, someone could say a stretch, but let me go there for a minute. If you've ever gone to the Holy Land, you've seen that phylakes του τάφου, the men primarily and some women who guard the tomb of Christ. The priests and the lay leaders here in America and those around the world that are watching me at this moment who are graduates, you are the phylakes. You are those who will save the faith, preserve the faith, and hopefully perpetuate the faith in the future. Thank you for all you do. Please remember to visit us at www.hchc.edu. Thank you.